And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ACG, where we're just a couple gamers. It's your boy Smooth.
Hey, what's going on, fam? It's T-Rex.
And we are back with another episode of Godfather Family Dynasty. This is episode 133, entitled Events and So Much More. And this is going to be a nice little kickback, relaxed kind of vibe night. But before I do anything else, I'm going to let T-Rex talk to you guys a little bit while I get this link out.
Yeah, I'm just going to pause my Xbox real quick and shift my attention. We'll go over some of the events that are going on in the game now is kind of the idea of this night's episode, and then a little table talk, just kind of shoot the breeze and talk about some other stuff that has been on my mind, and pick the brains of the listeners here. So there's a lot going on in the event tabs, guys. Besides the KCL, which I'm sure people are noticing, we're down to less than 6 days left. So hopefully you've been doing your KCL, getting your points and opening up those ornaments and such. And if not, then, like I said, less than a week left on that, so you better get cracking. You've got Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and that's going to be all she wrote as far as that one goes. Other than that, you've got your standards. We don't really need to keep going over the advanced bounty and the discount missions and stuff like that. It is the block event. It is kill event and server war weekend. So you guys know what that means. Make sure that you are getting ready to bubble up and do some battle over the weekend. Other than that, there are some really good events going on, guys. The Button Man enhancement event is back. That is we haven't seen this very often. I really like this one. So this is for the enhancements on your Button Men, not the star medals, but if you hit that enhance button and you take a look at those, there's some really good enhancements in there for your Button Men. And if you can grind some of these out, the pack that they sell is $29.99 US. If you can afford to get it, I do highly recommend this one. I'm a big fan. You're going to get 120 of these enhancement points each day. But if you unlock by purchasing the pack here, you're going to get an additional 600 a day, plus 500 of the talent enhancement points. And then you're going to get one of these chests that give you the option of either troop medals or troop or skill points. And this is going to go on for, I believe it's a full month, guys. 21 days. So you're going to get 21 days of these rewards. You're going to get 120 points a day, no matter what, just by popping in and collecting them. But if you do spend that $29.99, you're going to get that extra 600, the extra 500, and then that chest every day. And that really does add up. And it's going to give you some nice buffs on your troops as well. You can get some rewards for doing this. You're going to be able to get some resource boxes, a couple of the other things that you can get here. There's some of the boxes that'll give you the orange metal fragment pieces, or the experience packs, or some car stuff. In addition, there's some treasure maps and some other enhancement point levels as well. So I do really like this one, and this is one that if you're not a spender, you can grind and earn some of this. So you're going to get these from doing stuff around your books and donating to your family tech and neutral gangs and stuff like that. So you can grind some points and get yourself some good rewards. There is also a shop available in here where you can spend some of those, troop medals and things like that. So If you're somebody who hoards those, and I know there's a lot of people out there that do, if you've got 50, 100,000 of these medals sitting around, or if you're, fully buffed up on your troops at your current tier, might not be a bad idea, spend 10 of these and get yourself some of these medal celebration medals to buff your troops up. In addition to that, we also have, I lost my event page, sorry. The limited time challenge still going on. This is a really good one, guys. I still really like this one. Doing things like using red gemstones on your awakening or your specialty boosts on your capos, making orange ornaments, opening cabinets, buying packs to get gold, things like that, upgrading the talent of your button men. So this is one of those crossover here, because now upgrading talent is going to get you some chests in this limited time. And then, obviously you have the shop in there as well. But since it's also the talent point event, now you've got some crossover here. So you can get, it's 2 for 1, extra bang for your buck. And since you're going to be grinding, trying to get these button man enhancement points, and you're going to be hitting, neutral gangs and things like that, you're also going to see that's going to tie into the supply fishing event. You're going to be able to get some anchors from doing that. You get your anchors, you go in, you pick the tile that you want on the map, whether it's, you want some cars, you want some, Asian collection cabinets or American collection cabinets, whatever the case is. You trade in your black anchors. It's going to give you some rewards, and hopefully will give you a bunch of gold anchors, which then you can use in the center 4 squares there. And then if you take notice, there's the 12 of 12 on 3 of them, 0 or 48 of 48 on the last one. On my server, it's always 0 of 48, because apparently people are going crazy trying to get these golden, the luxurious famous car token tickets. Mm-hmm. That's a big one right now. I know everybody's trying to hammer away on their cars, so that one's always seems to be empty. But those are the specials, okay? The numbers that you see there, 12 of 12 or the 48 of 48, those are the specials. So if you do happen to change in a bunch of your gold anchors and you get a special for the luxury car, you might get 24 tickets out of just that one golden anchor. That is a possibility with that one. In addition, you might be able to get yourself some, the 4-star case records, or the mystery collection stuff. So that's kind of a nice little crossover again. We do have the foreign trade liner event going on. Again, more of a spender's event, but if you are spending and you are taking advantage of that, then you can get yourself some nice rewards, and it's going to kick out those rewards once a week for the next 4 weeks. Moving down the list here, we do have an event store open. I try to buy as much in here as I possibly can. It's the first night that the event store has been open, so spin your wheel, get your discount on the prices. Hopefully you got some turntable coupons. You can get that discounted a little bit more, but there's some purple metal fragments in there today. There are some orange exclusive metal fragments. There's some cash and some wood. That's going to change tomorrow. It'll probably go to steel and oil or something like that. The purple metal fragments will be there for a day or two.
I'm sorry, bro. I had a plane flying over me and I couldn't hear what you were saying. Where are we at right now?
We're in the event store. Planes are very rude. Kind of down towards the bottom there. I was just saying, tomorrow, the purple metal fragments will probably still be there. They're going to change over to orange metal fragments soon. The orange exclusive is going to stay there. So this is a good opportunity for you guys to get some medals, which maybe you're going to get yourself a good medal. And if not, then you can always trade that in and turn that into some essence, which is continuing to be a thorn in the side of many players, especially on the newer servers, and even the older servers now, because with the metal enhancements, You got to get that metal fully starred up before you can start going into the enhancements. So people are looking for metal essence. This continues to be something that the players are asking for, and hopefully this is something that the developers are going to finally start hearing, because I can tell you there's been a lot of chatter lately about the fact that there is not any essence coming out, and that the game gave us that essence for the enhancements, but not for getting it to the level that you can start enhancing your metals. So there was a lot of chatter about that last week, especially. Continuing to scroll through here, limited super value pack, obviously just for spenders. You spend either $9.99, $29.99. I think it's $49.99. You buy a pack, you get your items right off the bat from that, whatever the case may be, and then you get daily rewards as well. Some of these are nice, some of them not really worth it in my opinion. I generally will just get the $9.99 one myself, and then the rewards on that are pretty decent. The $29.99 I don't usually like to do unless that big pack, the $49.99 one, has some type of like crazy rewards with it. And right now it's not too bad. It's kind of looking nice. There's some celebration alloy in there. There's a whole lot of popularity points. Popularity points you're going to need for your cars and getting the tickets to upgrade the cars. So everybody really likes those usually. And then in addition, there's some capo hobby item boxes and other stuff like that. So pretty decent there. I might consider investing in that. And then we have the casino point event. Everybody knows what to do with the casino point event. Go and spin the wheel and hopefully, win some gold, as well as the rewards from the casino event. Some pretty decent stuff in there. Free bar or not free, but you get bar tokens and popularity points. You're going to get some wrenches, maybe some experience stuff. You get some gold. So it's not bad. And if you've been saving up your casino stuff, like most people do, I think at this point, you should have a pretty substantial amount, and it's really easy to max out the points on this one. And then the training event, this is not the daily, but this is a week-long event here, guys. So the more troops you train, higher the tier you train, things like that, you're going to get better and better rewards. And some of these are pretty good. You're going to get some resources. I got 2 million cash today and a couple hundred wrenches, things like that. All the way up to the max out, it's going to give you 7,000 gold and 10 boxes of 200,000 rubber. You're going to need that later on, so not bad. And then, so that's like the rundown on the events. But again, so many of these events intertwine and work off of each other. I just wanted to make sure that we touched on that again. Last week and the week before, the events really were intertwining. We had the family coupons and things like that. And if people were smart and they were really grinding not that long ago, we had the treasure hunt going on. For the Labor Day, you were getting your hard hats and stuff like that. And if you really grinded that event, hopefully you did. You got your 1,600 hard hats, and you were able to get yourself probably a Labor Day medal. I think that was really big that they put a medal like that. I think it was either Independence Day or Labor Day. I kind of lean towards the Labor Day personally. But that was really big that they put something like that in there for people to be able to get. And yeah, easier for spenders obviously, but it was definitely something that you could get through grinding. I didn't really by that much during that week, but I had McCluskey going like crazy. I know we just recently talked about how I took him 5 stars, and I get to send him out now every 8 hours, and I've upped him to 45 minutes per time out. I did send Smooth a video of me opening one of the rewards, when he got back, and I don't know if you have that available, Smooth, but it was pretty good. There was a whole bunch of hard hats in there, and 2 boxing 3 fragments, like 10,000 laundered cash.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The video clip I sent you of when I had the McCluskey reward.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I wish I could show that video, but that's on Line app, and I don't have that available on my laptop, unfortunately.
Gotcha. I'll have to send that to you an email. I didn't realize you don't have Line on the laptop. But, I've been averaging those things together, kind of trying to keep track of that. And, again, if you can 5-star McCluskey, it does really seem worth it so far. I'm really glad that I did go ahead and move him to 5 stars. Other than that, that's the events right now, guys. I do want to stress the troop enhancement event that's going on, the button man enhancement. This is a really good one, because this could be a big difference between your troops and your opponent's troops when you're talking about PvP. Some of the things that you're going to see in the enhancements, is extra hit points based on each star level, that particular troop type. I'm looking at assassins right now. Assassins gain extra attack for each star level increase. When assassins attack targets with lower than the percentage tier plus a star level, they deal extra damage. When button men are attacked by enemy assassins with lower level than you have, they take less damage. When assassin attacks targets with an equal tier plus star level, they do extra damage. So you're doing extra damage all across the board, or taking less damage. And that's really big. And if you only play drivers, you only play bombers or something like that, you can really just stack that particular troop type really strong. I do play a hybrid right now where I'm using 2 different troop types, so I kind of got to split it up a little bit. But if you're grinding this and you can get some points available, this is pretty substantial. I'm some of my stuff, right now, and I'm not super far advanced into this. And keep in mind, I'm on a 30 server. But when you're talking about dealing an extra 25% damage, I think that's pretty good.
That's really good.
You know what I mean? And then you also have the talent enhancement. And this one's a little bit different, but similarly, gain hit points. This one's weird because it's for every 10 levels of the talent. So you kind of really got to be grinding those talents. But even still here, when assassins attack targets with lower talent A plus talent B level than what you have, I'm dealing extra 20.8% or 20.8% damage. If you take that on top of the star enhancement, it's an extra 45% damage.
That adds up.
It really does. It really does. So talents are one of those things that people are just do it for certain things, when certain events come up. I put a little bit of points into it every day, just like I do with my troop star level. You put a little bit in every day. It kind of adds up over time, and then when the events do roll around, where putting into them really pays off. For example, and I missed this just a moment ago, I skipped the Family Feud event. We have the Talent Point event and the Family Feud event. And if you look in the tasks on Family Feud, you're going to see in there that there is a task for, if I'm not mistaken, Yes. For gaining points through upgrading star level or talent level of button men. So this is something like you're going to do your little bit of stars every day. You do a little bit of the talent every day. Maybe you get some the talent event, the talent points event. You need a lot of points to get rewards in this. So maybe you're not going to like hammer away at it. But maybe, you know, you do get like a couple rewards out of that, but at least you're going to get some extra rewards from the Family Feud event. And the Family Feud event is one that I really, really do like. There is a buy-in. I forget how much it is. I think it was $9.99 in the sign-in, where you buy into that, and then it gives you extra, you know, rewards each day. I looked at that and I said the rewards that you're going to get additionally each day are definitely worth it. You know, it's the difference between getting like 1,200 knife talent points or 5,000, because they give you an extra 3,600 just for day one. You know, for day two, it was one Asian Pacific cabinet versus a bonus of 4. And then they're going to give you each day also, you're going to get these search stamina potions, which you're just going to use to be able to continue to do more searches. And the searches, the energy for this accrues over time, so it does replenish over time. But if you look on the page, there's a little plus button next to it, and you can look in there and you have the potions available to you. You can use those to add to what you have. Now, while you're going through this, it's going to give you a whole bunch of different items, potentially, when you're doing your searches, okay? You can hire spies, which are going to increase the chances of getting a higher level reward. And then if you look in the exchange, is where you're going to be able to exchange those items that you're going to be able to find, whether it's vital records, letters, photos. There's film, and they call it clues, but they look like records to me. And then, you know, other like letters and photos and things like that. You can exchange these for different items that you're going to need in the game. So like if you find one vital letter, you can exchange that for 24 of the luxury famous car tokens, which again, we know we're going to get.
One of those get you 24?
Right. Or the vital record gets you 1,200 alloy. You can get, you know, for each photo, you can get, you know, up to 6 different cabinets. Like there's really good stuff in here. You get one vital film. It's worth 720 primary ore. That's pretty good if you ask me. And then you're just getting this for doing searches, and chances are you're going to find some of this, you know, just by happenstance, by luck. So those are some pretty good rewards to be able to get from that. And these are going to tie into things later down the road. You know, these cabinets are part of the collection stuff. We just finished up with the African and European collection, where, you know, you open up cabinets and boxes for them, and you're getting, you know, vital items for your vault, for the collections in the vault, and the tickets that you need in order to upgrade those. I know I was able to, I was really able to get a lot of points from there, taking the advice from, you know, our dear friend Mr. Plato, who was talking about the limited time challenge boxes, because in the shop in there you can buy the cabinets, you can buy luxury car tokens, so you can buy those there and then turn around and turn them into cabinets or boxes or your cabinets, and then save those up for those events, and when they roll around, just hammer those out. I think I got into level 4, so I was able to get some really good rewards out of that. And the Family Feud, also going back to that, there's a a shop where you can change in all of these tickets that you're getting while you're doing this. There's things in there like the metal folding combs and compasses for the last 2 capos that were released. There's excuse me, some maps, there's cabinets, there's primary ore, advanced ore, alloy, there's power and intelligent capo hobby item boxes, all the way down to you can get laundered cash if you trade certain things in. You can get some really good stuff in here. In addition, you're going to find occasionally, they're like these golden cigarette boxes.
Yeah.
You save those up and you go to the special shop. And this is something that I'm very curious about.
Hey, bro.
They have yes.
Sorry to cut you off. I just got to run, use the bathroom really quick. I'm going to let you talk to him for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. So, like I was saying here, Chat Mafia, in the special shop in the Family Feud here, the top left is the precision calibration device. If you click on it and you look at the buffs here, I'm pretty sure you just, either choose one of these. I'm going to have to look into this further. But, once obtained, increase hit point of all botmen by 20%. Once obtained, increase the attack of all bombers by 10%. Increase the first buff effect of the core equipment 20%. So this is a enhancement for your equipment. There's some pretty good buffs on there. Now that's 60 of these cigarette packs, but again, I'm not saying it's not possible for a grinder or non-spender, but you're probably going to need to be spending something to get a lot more of those stamina potions to be able to do a lot more searching in that event. But the nice thing about the Family Feud event is you got 12 days and 18, almost 19 more hours to go. So there's a lot of time, and if you're grinding away and you really you're paying attention and doing your searches as often as you possibly can, maybe you might be able to get your hands on that. If not, you're at least looking at being able to get some other pretty decent stuff. There's all the hobby items that you could need for your capos in there. There's 999 of each cabinet. There's some treasure maps in there. The final option chest, so you get some buffs on your troops. I like those, but I'm probably going to be looking for that calibration device personally, and then see how that works out. So, again, the way that these things all tie together. So, like as you're going through that Family Feud and you're doing certain tasks there, you're also probably going to be doing certain tasks on your limited time challenge as well. So pay attention to that stuff, guys, because like those limited time challenge, the challenger coins they're called, they do expire after a certain period of time. So you have to pay attention to that. Like right now you have 5 days, 18 hours left to cash those in.
Yes, sir.
So, make sure, like, if you're an R in management in your family, make sure to notify your family, before that runs out, because I know there's been a couple of times, once or twice where I've forgotten to cash them in, and I had a pretty decent amount. I know I was pretty pissed off at myself for doing that. So, you got to make sure to get that done. And that's really it for the events that are going on this week outside of the core events, guys. Hopefully by now everybody knows what the core events are. It is Kill Event Week, which means that this is like the individual based events. We just had the mansion event, today's block event. So we're gonna have it'll be technology and then groups and then capos, and come along to the Kill Event weekend or server war. Whatever you happen to be at on your particular server. so I'm really looking forward to that and popping back into some of the old servers I'm not playing anymore, and kind of checking in on them and how they're doing in server war and such. Had a little discrepancy with reported scores from 29.1. Yeah, I have some people telling me that 29.5 won that round, but certain another person telling me that 29.1 beat 29.5. So curious about that. Gonna have to look into it and see if I can get to the bottom of that. Again, because the 30 server that I'm playing in, we're in Champions League for, we've been through 2 rounds now, which means server war is creeping up.
Oh yeah.
And so there's a lot of good stuff going on right now. There is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes as well. Some rumblings from some of the players. I know our good friend Mr. Plato had some questions that he's looking for some answers for. And a lot of other players as well. I remember him because of our relationship. I've been picking his brain like crazy lately. I actually almost feel bad for him.
What did you mean? You needed some answers. What are you?
Well,
there's.
I am waiting a little bit more until I get some more information on certain things. But things that I've been looking to get answers from him for are things like with your troop skills, how much it matters where they're actually placed. So there's a lot of people that are of the school of thought that your talents, if you place the talent on the troop that it belongs to, that it acts kind of like umbrella across everything. But if you really read some of the language in it, it does kind of allude to the fact that, let's say you want to do more damage to drivers or debuff the drivers and you're using knives, then you should be assigning the driver talents to your knife troop.
Right.
And so I've gotten a lot of conflicting opinions on that, and that's one of the things that I went to him, and he's kind of looking, asking around a little bit more for me. We do believe that it does matter. So if you're trying to debuff drivers, like I said, with knives, then you're going to want to put the driver talents in your knife slots. But we can't promise that. That's one of those things that, like, even if you go to the developers, you're not really going to get a definitive answer on them from them on that. So, kind of asking around to a lot of the more knowledgeable veterans. So if anybody in Chat Mafia has any opinions on that, I'd love to hear what you guys have to think, as well as when you're setting up your marches, if the capo placement matters and like which capo goes first, second, third, does that matter? Does it matter if they have a particular skill assigned to that capo? That's something I'm very interested in, because I've noticed a lot of times that I will set my capos up in a certain order and then go into my battle report and watch the battle play out, and the capos are in a different order than what I had them set up in.
Interesting.
So I'm very curious, do I have to have them set up a specific way? And if I do, what effect does that have on their skills firing? And then again, to go even deeper into that with the skills, does it matter what slots you have those in? So if you have your first capo in your march set up, and you have, a skill in his first and second slot, but not the third and fourth, and then the second capo in your order there, if you have something set up in his second and third, but not the first or fourth, if you can follow what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
Is that better? Does that make a difference? Should you just have the skills in the first, second, third slot? Or, do you have to kind of follow with that? The third guy gets something in his third and fourth, but not his first and second. Philosophy. I'm very curious about that, and I've been playing around with that a lot lately in the martial arts arena. I'm still kind of going through the data on that and trying to record. Kind of hard sometimes when people change their march setups.
Yeah.
And you're trying to compare it to something, but they've gone and changed on you. But other than that, things are going pretty good in the game. I know there's still people, they're kind of frustrated a little bit by some of the things that the developers have been doing versus what they haven't been doing. But there's been a lot of really good ideas thrown out there lately. I know the idea of having a beta testing server was thrown out there. Hiring a team of beta testers and making sure things work for the dynamic of the game itself before they're released was thrown, and I thought that was a really good idea. I don't know how it would work per se, but a lot of it just comes down to programming, and if you can do most programming, you'd think that you'd be able to figure out a lot of things. A big request still is to be able to see all of your stats and buffs all on one page. So if you're kind of when you have your imprints and your ornaments and your medals and everything like that, just to be able to kind of click on one spot and get an overall list of all of your attributes and buffs, what they currently are with the way that you're currently set up.
I would love that so much. And Lethal just said, I wish so much that we could just save our marches.
Yeah, being able to lock in marches would definitely something that would be really, really good. Even if they just offered us 2 options or 3 options of different loadouts, I think that would be amazing, and it would really enhance the gameplay itself, especially in PvP. To have pre-set up and pre-done loadouts, hey, I'm going up against somebody who runs drivers, let me boom, done. And then your imprints would change, your medals would change, your ornaments, everything would just be that would be crazy.
It would be amazing.
I think we might be biting off a little bit more than the developers are willing to chew for it. I think that would be sick to be able to do that. And then, again, it's little things. The episode, unfortunately, I missed the other day. I was having all kinds of technical issues of, populating the zones again. And how do we get 32.8 to be as popular as 32.1? Little things like that. And I think, I know you and Mike were talking about that for, a little while, and I think it's really unfortunate I play on a .4. It's nowhere near as highly populated as .1.
Mm-hmm.
As well as, we have a couple decent sized mansions. But do we have, like, I think .1 has an M33 and an M32. We don't have anything like that, so that's going to make server war against them particularly challenging. And then if you look into some of the later servers, I think some of them are in worse shape than we are. So it's curious. There is a very, very big advantage for the .1s as far as the amount of time that they have over the later zones that come into the server, before server war and things like that. So
does 30.1 look good?
Does 30.1 look good?
Yeah.
Let me pop on over. Yeah, 30.1, they definitely have some very active players. Their top family, the Westies, and it looks like they've just gone to essentially a one family server as well.
You're already over there?
On 30.1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a just a mansion level 1.
No, I mean, like, you logged in that quick?
Yeah.
That was quick as shit. Lethal says, I feel like that all has to do with the people and the dynamics. What exactly do you mean by that, Lethal? What in reference to what exactly? Because we've changed topics a couple times. She also said that so many times I've accidentally hit auto and it messes it up. It kills my soul every time. Talking about not being able to save the marches and stuff like that.
Yeah, the quick select.
Yeah.
Quick select is it's just a terrible button to have there. If you hit it and then you save it or you send the march out, then you got to redo your entire march all over again. Not the end of the world if it's if you're in a PvE situation, but PvP you're selling your soul there. You're gonna lose really bad. You're gonna lose a lot, unless you happen to be fighting somebody else who's made the same dumb mistake as you and hit quick select. But yeah, 30.1, like I said, they look like they've gone. I'm gonna say 2 families.
Mm-hmm.
But the top family, the Westies, I do like the family name. They're at 475 million power.
475 million.
And the number 2 family, the League of Legend, which seems to be R6. There's 39 members, which isn't bad. But the R6 is it's a farm account, apparently. It says farm, but that looks to be a possibly Russian family. And just from personal experience, they don't like to merge very often.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and then number 3 family, a familiar name. It's the abbreviation's RIP, family name Dead. R6 is BBG, so there's a familiar name there. I know he's still playing 29.1 as well, so or at least last time I looked. But other than that, it's 11 million, 8 million, 7 million, and so like my account would be the number 3 family on the server if I were to jump. If you could do that and move your mansion from one zone to another. And again, I'm not a very large mansion. I, just moved to mansion 26, but top boss mansion here. Yeah, there's you got a 33, a 32, a 30, a couple 29s. So they do up there. Well, I guess you got that farm is mansion 27, so that's interesting. Yeah. There's our buddy Cruz, mansion 27. Oh, excuse me. So there's some familiar names. Buff Bagwell. Interesting that he was playing 30.4 and was an R4 in the former number 1 family in our server. There's some of that gamemanship we've talked about in the past.
What?
You meant Buff Bagwell?
Yeah.
He was an R4 in the BOB family on 30.4.
Yeah.
Yeah, never made it above mansion 16.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some of that gamesmanship that you see. Yeah. Obviously he was playing more in the other zone and just messing around over here, keeping an eye on things, and probably, throwing a couple wrenches in the cogs and the machines over here.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, if I'm not mistaken, he was actually the R6 of that family.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's very, I don't really like that type of thing, but to each their own. But 30.1 looks really good. I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to do very much again.
Yeah.
They look good. I don't have an account on all of the zones in our server here, but let me see. The oldest
says in regards to the servers being populated, that's what she said. It has to do with the people and the dynamics. And then she said the only way that will happen in the game, the game needs to throw money into advertising after they throw more money and effort into fixes. If they can't fix some simple issues after 5 years, it's like, how are you going to keep people? And so then if people are toxic and can't get along, on top of not having fixes, people won't have a passion to stay, especially new people, because the OG people seem a little resistant to the new. And I haven't been in new servers to really know who all's in the game, just going on what I've experienced. And then she said, bless you.
Thank you. So, I just popped over into 30.6. So just for, poops and giggles, on our zone, we're at 232 million for our family.
Damn.
So less than half of what they have. So that kind of gives you an idea of the difference. And it's not like we don't have some decent players and we don't have some people that have put some time and effort into some money into it. But if I pop back over to 30.6, I think you're gonna notice the trend here is that the top family has 133 million power.
Damn. Okay.
And then the number 2 family has 4.5 million, and then 3.3 million. So
hold on a second. Hold on. So you're talking about, you said that in 30.1 they had, you said 400 million power family was number 1, because that's double our power right now.
Right. And now, so now here, whoa. The top mansion in 30.1, I said was a M33, and they also had an M32, correct?
Yeah.
On 30.6, the top mansion is a Mansion 26.
You're shitting me.
I am not, sir.
Wow. First of all, wow. Second of all, shout out to Nat. Nat's in the chat right now. Shout out to everybody watching. We got some more people piling in here. We really appreciate you guys so much. Dude, that's insane. So that right there just goes to show you it's not even just about the populated. It's a common trend that I'm seeing where it's underpopulated and you have a lack of spending. Period. An overall lack of spending.
So I think in these later zones, you really have to, get some spenders. Like, you really need some big spenders to be able to compete with the top zones, the 0.1s, the 0.2s. So, the top powered mansion was an M26 who had just about 22 million power, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I don't obviously know what his tech looks like or anything like that, but that for an M26, that's perfectly normal power level at this point. But if I go back over to 30.1, my buddy Nemesis Ghost, he's got 77.69 million power. Killer's got 53. Our buddy Thor, who likes to come over and visit our zone quite often, has 31. And then drops down to 20 and then 17. And again, nothing wrong with any of those power levels. It depends on building power, your tech power, your troop power. But obviously Nemesis Ghost and Killer, they're beasts. Thor has an M29, so he's right up there. And a lot of power for an M29. So, again, don't know what the tech power is and stuff like that, but I imagine with those guys they know what they're doing. So I'm sure their tech power is perfectly fine. I'm sure it's a lot more than mine is. So, but it does go to show you that, like you guys were saying, the later zones, the lower number zones, the 0.4s, 5, 6, 7, 8s, there's a substantial fall off. And I don't have an account on 0.7 or 0.8, but it's pretty. That's pretty big to be. What it is? It's 435 million, and then all the way down to 133 million. That's pretty crazy, I think. So I'm just going to do a quick comparison here and hop over onto 31.1, which obviously is much newer, and it's the next to newest zone and server that we have here.
Yep.
But here we go. The top family here, 177 million.
Okay.
Number 2, 110 million.
Okay.
Number 3, 33 million, almost 34. And then going, 4, 5, and 6 are all over, we'll call it 11 million power. And then it drops from there, but we're still seeing 3, maybe 4 or 5, decent families here. At least, the two top families really competing, going back and forth with each other here. And then number 3, our friend Killer Queen's family, still a respectable amount of power here. So, this, I'm curious to see, and maybe we're going to have to take a look at this in a little while when some more zones open up, what it looks like, by the time that 31.4 and then 31.8 open, to see if we're still noticing that same fall off that we're seeing in some of these other servers, because it is something that, I have noticed for quite some time.
Nat just said, what are they talking about? We're talking about something that we touched on in a previous episode recently, where I noticed, and a lot of the other veteran players have been noticing, a decline in player population and servers. And so what it is imagine what we would call a server, okay? And inside that server, there's 7 other smaller servers, okay? So you have your first server, and then you have your 7 other smaller servers underneath it, okay? This is for people that don't play Godfather, that don't know what the stones are. Okay, so the first server that opens, the big one, always has more players, more spenders, more activity, and then the 7 little ones that come after that have, and when this game first started, it wasn't like that. I would say like server 1 came out, and then it had 7 little servers after that, but they were all highly populated. Then server 2, and then they had 7 little ones that were very populated, and then eventually along the way, we kind of narrowed it down, I think, to like, I would say around server 15 is when this thing really started to become a trend. And I have left a couple. What's that?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
That in the mid to late teens.
Yep. And so, I know myself and a couple players had left for a year and then come back and join another server, and that, around all of us really, around the same time period, give or take a year or two, and we all started noticing this stuff. But just over the last few years, the last year or two, we've noticed that it's getting worse. And this year in particular, I jumped into a server recently, and I was just absolutely devastated. That a week into the server, what I was looking at, I was like, what? I mean, come on. I know I exaggerate a little bit sometimes, and I have said previously in the past that that servers, some of the servers were dead. But when I say what I was looking at hurt my feelings a little bit, dude. Like, I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's gotten to the point too where I think even in the earlier zones, you're starting to see a trend of even the spenders being reluctant to pull the trigger on getting out the Amex Black Card, and going crazy because they won. And this was something that was told to me by a pretty substantial spender. He didn't want to scare off other players that were not on the same spending level or that didn't spend by coming out of the gate and going mansion 25 on day 1 or 2, because a lot of times other players will look at that, and one of 2 things really happens: is either they flock to it and try to hide underneath the enormous shadow of that big spender and the protection that they provide, or they go, screw this, I'll wait 2 weeks and go on to the next zone. And part of the issue, I think, has been just that, and then the how often and how quickly the new zones come out. There's so many people that will just play the 2 weeks and, I'll see what happens. No big deal. And if I don't like the way that, the dice rolled, I'll just move on to the next zone. And if I don't like if I don't like it, I'll move on to the next one and to the next one. Or I'll just wait a month or so, and then I'll move on to the next server.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And so like that, and then the same guy was telling me this was, why would he go to a 0.6 or a 0.7 where there's the disadvantage of having 2 months less time, to build and develop before they get it to server war and later events, and have to spend even more and have less people to play with, and less spender to play with. Whereas he knows if he goes to the 0.1, there's going to be other big spenders at least lurking in the shadows, waiting to see who else is there. And like when somebody finally does pull the trigger, and it's funny because you'll notice, one person will jump up all of a sudden, and then a second, third, fourth, fifth, and then the next thing you know, there's 10 players that have gone from like mansion 12 to 22 in like a matter of 3 days. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's great, and I think that, but it takes that one guy to pull the trigger and then to go just enough.
Yep.
Just enough that other people, are like, oh, he's not that far ahead. I could catch up to that. And then, and then they catch up to it. And then there's the people on the next level down, maybe like me, who are like, oh, well, I could still stay competitive with that.
Yeah.
And then maybe jump up to like a mansion or 2, 3 levels below them. But as you get a little bit later, the 0.2, usually still pretty populated, 3, 4, less and less. And I'm sure if we went and looked at like 30.8 right now, there'd be tumbleweeds rolling across the mansion screens.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And again, it's because why would you play 30.8 and have 2 months less time when you can just wait a couple of weeks for 31.1 to come out?
Yep.
Yep. That's very unfortunate, and it's come more and more and more that way. I really wish I was able to join you and Mike's conversation about this, because
Talk
they
about
really
it now, man. Talk about it now.
Are the spenders really? They're waiting for the 0.1s to come out. Looking for my phone charger, and that's what they're waiting for, because they want. There's competition. You're going to have other spenders there, and by the time server war rolls around, or the cross servers and CCSE and things like that, you're going to have other players there that are going to be on your same level that you can play along with. For example, Ghost, Nemesis, and Killer. You had a 33 and a 32, and so like they're obviously, I'm sure they know each other, and I'm sure they planned on being the top 2 guys all along. So unless you're on that level and people that are willing to jump, and we've tried, like you've thrown around the phrase legacy server like a bajillion times, and we've tried to do things like this, a number of times, where you get like a whole bunch of veterans and a whole bunch of spenders, and like everybody organizes, and all right, there's like 150 of us. We're all going to jump into a server, and it seems like a great idea until everybody's egos start getting in the way. Then it's who's got the bigger credit card balance and who's is bigger than who's and whatever. But like it's a lot of fun early on, like when all the upgrades are fast and furious, until you turn around and somebody's like you're on day 5 and somebody's at like mansion 30 already.
Oh my God. Been there, done that.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that. Like I can tell you myself, like I don't plan on starting another server till maybe like the Christmas, New Year's time, when Maybe that mansion discount event is rolling around again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it happening. And that's hard for me to do because I love the excitement of a new server. But I have a lot of time and a decent amount of money invested into my current, and I'm enjoying at least the excitement of trying a new build. I've ran drivers for a long period of time, and I've just accepted the fact that I don't spend on a high enough level to be able to run drivers the way that I want to. So I'm trying something different and new, and I'm enjoying it. And I want to see how it holds up against players on other servers.
Well,
unfortunately, and I'm not trying say anything negative or whatever, but on our server, I don't have anybody that I can really test myself against.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the population, and we don't have I don't know if maybe I just did really well on this particular build out, or if the other mansions on my similar level are not up to par or whatever. But there's not a lot of mansions around my level, and the ones that we do have, I think there's only one not in our family at this point. So my only other options is to fight the M29s on the server.
Holy shit! Swift is 53 mil.
Yeah, he's
holy
doing
shit.
Really well. He's doing really well.
30 not that long ago.
No, he's and there's some things I could tell you offline that'll blow your mind even more about that. So,
oh my god,
I don't want to divulge too much information, on here because I don't want Nemesis Ghost popping in and just being in Chat Mafia and not saying anything, because I know he's been on the stream a few times. So don't want to feed the competition too much information.
Well, let me ask you this: are we doing another live right after this? Because if so, we need to tell the people so that way they stick around.
Yeah. So here's the thing, guys. Smooth and I were talking about doing a double header here. It's not very often that I am home on a weekday like this and have the opportunity. And he's going to try to sell me on this other new game he started playing.
Yeah. There's a new gangster game. Just dropped. It is only 10 days old. I won't say what it is because we are sponsored by FT Games, and I want to thank them so much for sponsoring this content. I want to thank everybody from the Godfather Family Dynasty community for watching. Thank you so much for the love and support. But this is a gaming channel.
Overall, a gaming channel.
That's
yes.
Right. So if you guys want to see me try and sell Rex on this brand new gangster game that is most definitely, in my opinion, the best game out right now in its genre, and because it's so brand new and it's blowing my mind every day, I got to take my boy with me. So if you guys want to see whether or not Rex is sold on this, you guys definitely stick around, and we'll be right back in a couple minutes. Is there anything you want to say to the community before we get out of here?
Yeah, again, we do greatly appreciate our sponsors, and this is a very different style game, so nothing against The Godfather. I love The Godfather. I know you do too, but this is a different style game.
Mm-hmm.
So when we say best in its genre, I don't think they're in the same genre, to be honest.
Yeah, Godfather is Godfather. This is more of a gang.
Yeah, this is both strategy games, but very different stylistically, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That said, greatly appreciate everybody popping in. Hit the like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Hopefully I can get some of the answers that I've been looking for while picking some of my veteran friends' brains, and I can get those to you exponentially. And with that, Godfather community, good night.
Until next time,
until the
y'all.
next time.
Peace. Yes, sir, bro. I'm trying to tell you, Rex, bro. Rex, it's like a gangster wet dream, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man.
We will see. We will see it.
Oh God, it's so good, bro. And like, listen. The thing that gets me is the activity, bro. It's crazy, bro. Like, listen, you could take all